Hello and welcome to Bedtime Story with Miss Anna. Are you ready to go to sleep? Kiss your mommy, kiss your daddy. It's time for story time. Tonight we have some amazing books before you go to sleep. The first book that we are reading is called The Napping House by Audrey Wood. There is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping. And in that house, there is a bed, a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that bed, there is a granny, a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that granny, there is a child, a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that child, there is a dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that dog, there is a cat, a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring Grammy, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that cat, there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that mouse, there is a flea. Can it be? A wakeful flea. On a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. A wakeful flea who bites the mouse, who scares the cat, who claws the dog, who thumps the child, who humps the granny, who breaks the bed, in the napping house where no one now is sleeping. The end. The napping house. I have one more book for you. This one is called The House in the Night by Susan Marie Swanson. Here is the key to the house. In the house burns a light. In that light rests a bed. On that bed waits a book. In that book flies a bird. Here's the bird. In that bird breathes a song, all about the starry dark. Through the dark glows the moon. On the moon's face shines the sun. Sun in the moon, moon in the dark. Dark in the song, song in the bird. Bird in the book, book on the bed. Bed in the light. Light in the house. Here is the key to the house. The house in the night. A home full of light. The end. Such a beautiful story. The house in the night. I have one more book for you today. This one is called Moon Day by Annan Ress. Moon Day. The moon hung full and low and touched the tips of trees. We whisper words like big and beautiful. Through the back seat window, I follow its flight. Past the dark sleeping park and the bright empty trees. Then I drifted to sleep and was lifted to bed. The next morning, the moon was lower and larger, and very nearly on the ground. It was in our backyard. I asked, why is it so large and low? Why it is in our backyard? Dad said, and rolled his chin. Pick me up. From Dad's shoulders, I brushed the moon with my fingertips. It was chalky and cold. I climbed into a crater. I'm going to have a look around. Mom said, okay, zip up your coat. I walked over and under and around to where Mom and Dad waited. What now? Morning had missed us in darkness. The town awoke and went to work. At school, we slumped in desk and slept through lunch. I looked through my heavy lashes through the window, through lean trees to see my blue moon staring back at me. In science, Mrs. Ellen wrote, the moon has gravity that makes the tides turn. In English, she wrote, moon is a noun and sometimes a verb. In math, she wrote, 1 plus 1 equals moon. And then she blinked and stepped back from the board. That's not right, she said. I'm sleepy. Class dismissed. As I walk, I watch the weary town folk. Hushed they shuffle through slush and doze off at stoplights. The band on Bleecker Street could only sing into the microphone. Lullaby, I love you, shoolaloo, lullaby. Then I stare a yawn. The sway of the block crossed 2 policemen, rounded the square, and followed me home. In my backyard, Mom and Dad tried to hide the moon under blankets and tablecloths. Hot air balloon yawned our neighbor as he leaned over the fence. Yes, I guess, my mom said. It's the latest fad, said Dad. That was when the tide came in. It trickled into our backyard. The tide came in smooth and thin and settled underneath our moon. Big, I say, and beautiful. Wet, said Dad. It doesn't belong in our backyard, said Mom, and I could do without the dogs. I say, maybe we should take it for a drive. So we drove with the moon in our window that night through the bright empty streets, past the dark sleeping park. It followed our flight to the top of the hill where it lit on the tip-tops of the trees. Then I told the moon, stay. I told the moon, stay, as I rumbled away. And it stayed in the sky at the top of the hill and looked smaller and higher the lower we drove. There it goes, I say. There goes the moon, say Dad. There goes our good tablecloth, say Mom. In the purring car, I fell asleep. Dad carried me to bed and said good night. In other towns and neighbors' bed, they say good night, turn off the lights, and it was a good night everywhere. The end. Moon Day. Imagine if the moon come down to your backyard. What will you do? Our next book is called The Night World. This is by Mordecai Gerstein. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave today, before you go to sleep. Good night, Sylvie. Meow. Meow. It's too late to go out, Sylvie. Or is it too early? Meow. Everyone is sleeping, even the goldfish. Everyone except for Sylvie and me. Is this our house in the dark? It seems a different place. Meow, says Sylvie. It's coming. What's coming? It's almost here, she says. Hurry. The grass is wet with dew. The air is warm and sweet. The dark is soft and comfortable. This is the night world. There are shadows everywhere. Are these shadows roses? Are those lilies and sunflowers? Where are their colors? That shadow is a deer. Is this one a rabbit? A porcupine looks up and whispers, "It's almost here." "It's coming," murmur all the animals. "It's almost here." Then a robin says, "It's on its way." Now another, farther off, "Here it comes." "It's almost here," says a chickadee. "It's almost here." Now birds near and far, each in its own language. "It's on its way." "Look," says Sylvie, "look, look." Sing all the birds. Suddenly, all is still. Through the leaves of the trees there is a glow. Here and there, shadows start to slip away. "Where is everyone going?" I ask. "This is our bedtime," says the porcupine. "Sweet dreams," say I. The glow flares above the tree. Clouds turn pink and orange. The grass turns green, the roses turn pink and red, the lilies and sunflowers turn yellow. "It's here," says Sylvie. And the gray, glowing golden disk of the sun bursts from the top of the trees. "Good morning, sun," says Sylvie. "Good morning," sing all the birds. "It's going to be a beautiful day." I sing too. "Good morning, sun." "And good morning to you, Sylvie." "Meow," says Sylvie. From the house I hear yawns. Everyone is waking up. Good morning, everyone. It's going to be a beautiful day. The end. Such a nice story, right, guys? I have one more book, and this is our last book for tonight before you go to sleep. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And remember that all the books that I'm reading are part from the 1,000 books your child should read before kindergarten. The next and last book is called Signy, Stella, and the Moon. This is by Emma Jarlett. Signy, Stella, and the Moon. Signy and Stella did everything together, feeding the quacks, ducks, Stella had a lot of fun with Sydney, and Sydney had a lot of fun with Stella. But there was one thing that Sydney and Stella did not do together. I wonder what that could be. Oh, yes. Sydney and Stella did not share. Oh, wow. And this is where our tale begins. It's mine! No, it's mine! It all started when Sydney would not share his bouncy ball. Give me the ball. No. It fell from Sydney's fingertips, flew toward the open window. And you know what happened, right? And what bouncy balls do best. It bounced higher and higher and higher until it was so high it could touch the smash. The moon broke into a million pieces. Gone. Sydney and Stella were horrified. There was a big blank space in the night sky. But maybe nobody will notice the moon's sudden disappearance. In the morning, they slept and they wake up and they went downstairs and slowly opened their front door. Whoa! Sydney and Stella knew they were in big trouble. Completely vanished! News! Police! Where is the moon? There was only one thing to do. Sydney and Stella have to make things right. They have to find a new moon. They searched high and low, but couldn't find anything that could take the place of the moon. Tired and hungry, Sydney and Stella took a break. While Stella tried to think of a new plan, Sydney decided to have a snack. And guess what he found? Slightly nibble, a new moon. Ring! And Stella knew just how they could get the new moon up into the sky. But then Sydney and Stella came across an old problem. I wonder what could be. Oh yes, Sydney and Stella did not share. Sydney and Stella took the new moon and they jumped rope and rushed outside together. They made a catapult, pulled back the sheets, and then ping! The moon sat snugly in the night sky once more. Pew! The end. Such a nice story. Imagine if you break the moon. What will you do? These are amazing stories that you can read with your mom and dad before you go to sleep. I hope you have a great night and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Good night, good night, good night.